Hi.
Hey, everybody. Boy, that's awful bright. Uncle Rich here. And you're going to say, what's with the Santa Claus hat? You know, today is 12/16/13. And the reason for the Santa Claus hat is this is going to be our last show before for the year. Because contractually, we have different obligations. Don't ask, but this is the last show of the year. And guys, tonight we just want to have fun. What we're going to do is we want to use the oldest, all the comedy clips that we used during the year, and we want to have a bit of a refresher. And I want to thank my buddy Marco, our sponsor. Marco, the thing is, I told him I was going to show a video, but we're having a problem, so bear with me. But guys, when you're in the neighborhood, we're sponsored by Martino, so I just want to bring that up. And tonight, we're going to start off with, you know, in the studio, you guys know I like to give Fox the business. I love to hate Fox. And I mean, I'm going to make no bones about it. And what I do is when I catch somebody giving you the business, I call giving it the B-slap. But some people don't like that first word, so I just use the word B-slap instead of the fully explain. Right, Judy?
BATTA-BING.
Yeah, Judy's been so good, but she thinks it's very offensive, and some other people do. But we're going to show the first clip, and this kind of sums up why I'm here. So, John, let's run the first one. Is John back there? There we go.
Mayday! Mayday! Mayday!
Mayday, what the hell is that?
Mayday? Why, that's the Russian New Year. You know, we'll have a big parade and we'll serve hot hors d'oeuvres.
Can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're wanted on the phone. Everything's gonna be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Yourself.
I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Out of here. I've got to get out of here.
Excuse me, we'd like you to have this flower.
Excuse me, sir, would you...
Donations to the Reverend Moon?
Juice for Jesus?
Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism?
Help Jerry's kids?
Oh, yeah. Scientology?
Or nuclear power?
Guys, so now you know what it's like when I watch Fox News. I tell you, like today it was just overwhelming. I mean, the way they, you know, it doesn't, with Obamacare, it doesn't matter. You know, nothing is right with Obamacare. Nothing is right with anything that Obama does. And that's why I like to use that term, you know, if there was a little kid drowning, and if Obama walked on water and reached down and saved the kid and brought him back and saved the kid's life, the people at Fox News would simply say, today, Obama conclusively proved that he can't swim. And this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with, they can't, when they do say something nice about Obama, they got to give you the second half zinger. Because nothing that he does is right. And I get so angry. And I tell you, a lot of times when I'm watching Fox News, it's like the old Alka-Seltzer commercial. You know, the measy, mamma mia. So John, mamma mia us, will you?
Mamma mia, that's some beast.
Got spicy meatballs, Jack.
Take 28.
Out, Tony.
And action. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
Cut.
What was the matter with that?
The accent.
Huh.
Cut.
Cut. Missy, micey, bossy, ballsy. Cut.
Take 59.
And action.
Sometimes you eat more than you should. And when it's spicy besides, Mamma Mia, do you need Alka-Seltzer? Alka-Seltzer can help unstuff you, relieve the acid indigestion, and help make you your old self again.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Cut. Okay, let's break for lunch.
Guys, you know, we've had our Mamma Mia moments here, that's for sure. But you know, this is life. And this is live TV. We try our best. But you know, perfect example. Tonight, you know, screwing up with the video that I wanted to show for Marco. I can't believe I converted it the wrong way. But, well, there's no way we're going to be able to fix it tonight. So, Marco, I apologize, buddy. But anyway, you know, around here, it's like every day is hump day. So, John, if you can hit us with the next one.
Channel 4's local weather report with meteorologist Lee Bixby.
Good morning, St. Louis.
Mamma mia, that's a some species.
Cut. Spicy meatballs, Jack.
Sorry.
Take 28.
Out, Tony, and action. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
Cut.
What was the matter with that?
The accent.
Huh.
Cut.
Cut. Missy, micey, bossy, ballsy. Cut.
Take 59.
And action.
Sometimes you eat more than you should. And when it's spicy besides, Mamma Mia, do you need Alka-Seltzer? Alka-Seltzer can help unstuff you, relieve the acid indigestion, and help make you your old self again.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Cut. Okay.
Talk about a Mamma Mia moment. John, are we having technical difficulties? What's going on? John, we're supposed to show the commercial with the camel, Hump Day. Is it there?
It wasn't loaded. He said it wasn't loaded.
It wasn't loaded? Holy mackerel. How about number 5, the dirty weather one then? What's going on here?
Channel 4's local weather report with meteorologist Lee Bixby.
Good morning, St. Louis. Let's go ahead and take a look at your week. 113, Tuesday 114. The crops and livestock out in Hasbro County are pretty much and so are we in terms of grocery store prices. Later in the week, it's going to cool down to a scorching 109 degrees, but the weekend, holy 117 degrees. Well, it's going to be a little toasty out there in the ball field, and just imagine how toasty your own balls are going to feel.
Dirty Energy has created a world of dirty weather. On November 14th, learn the full truth about dirty weather. Don't miss 24 hours of reality. The Dirty Weather Report.
Guys, we're trying. I don't know what happened. I just don't know. But anyway, we're going to forge ahead with more dirty weather with a cute clip with our weather girl. So, John, let's hope the next one works. Hit it.
Well, it's the Labor Day weekend. Last chance to lounge by that pool and wrap up your summer reading list. Pippa's standing by with the full forecast. Pippa, looks like that nice warm weather isn't quite ready to leave.
I don't know why you would imagine that it would. We've broken thousands of temperature records across the country and the planet this year. In fact, we're heading into the 329th consecutive month with a global temperature above the 20th century average.
Definitely time to light up that barbecue.
Yes, the barbecue.
Pip, I think the folks at home are probably about ready for that 7-day forecast.
Okay, sure. Let's start up north, way up north. This week, satellites measured the smallest area of Arctic sea ice coverage in recorded history. That's 4 million square kilometers of ice missing since the 1980s. Where did it go? That's bigger than India. And it's happening so quickly, some researchers are now forecasting a summer with no ice in the Arctic Ocean within 10 years. So instead of a bright white sheet reflecting sunlight back into space, that means dark water sucking up even more heat, making it melt faster and faster. Most scientists prefer the friendlier term of feedback loop, but I'm more inclined to call it what it is, an inescapable death spiral.
I think there's a feedback loop in my earpiece, because I believe I just heard myself ask you for the weather report.
This is the weather report. This is what's happening. Scientists are telling us we can put 565 more gigatons of carbon into the atmosphere before global temperatures rise by 2 degrees, which is universally accepted as the threshold of total mayhem. Except if you add up the proven reserves of fossil fuels controlled by the world's energy companies, the oil and gas and coal we currently plan to burn, that amount is 5 times the safe limit. So if you think it's bad now, you just wait and see what hell we're going to unleash once we start drilling under the Arctic and digging up the tar sands so you can drive 3 blocks to get an ice cap. You think all of this extreme weather is a coincidence? You want the weather report? This is a reality report!
So all in all, a great Labor Day weekend and good times for the air conditioner industry.
Until the power goes out, you moron!
In other news, Chavril madness is sweeping the nation. Canada's royal couple of rock was spotted canoodling.
Guys, it gets better. In part 2, check out part 2. John, hit it.
Hello, everyone. I want to take a few moments of your time to apologize for an on-air incident in which I was involved several weeks ago.
Pippa, I'll just stop you right there. There's really no need.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, potential advertisers, we're proud to announce a new segment.
She's hot, she's crazy, like the weather. Oh, weather with Pippa.
They're all yours, Pippa. Give them heck.
Okay. Let's do this. Last week was the equinox, so we're officially into fall. But for most of the lower 48 US states, there's still no relief from the ongoing drought that has crippled farms nationwide. The last time it was this bad was the Dust Bowl in the 1930s. Those regions are where most of the nation's corn and soybean crops are grown. And since 40% of the corn crop is turned into ethanol fuel, there's now a real likelihood of food shortages. This is serious. Already in some areas, farmers have no corn for their cattle, so they're giving them miniature marshmallows and gummy worms just so they can get enough calories to stay alive.
Whoa, sounds like those cows are living the sweet life.
The point is, when grain prices rise, mathematical models actually show a correlation with social instability. This drought is literally putting some of the most vulnerable regions of the world at risk of widespread hunger, even food riots. That's the reality of a changing climate, and it's happening now. Not 100 years from now, not 10 years from now, this week!
Well, thank you, Pippa. Clearly, we all need to mend our ways. I, for one, will be trading in my Escalade for a hybrid following the broadcast. In other news...
It's a bit late for that. What we need are powerful leaders, like presidential candidates who are willing to acknowledge the issue. Then, we need global leadership on policy solutions. Did you just cut my mic out? Again? Seriously?
In other news, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the cleanest fuel of all? The answer may surprise you. It's coal.
What?
In a new study by coal industry experts, burning coal is actually found to make your lungs cleaner than those of newborn kittens.
We need Pippa at Fox News. I tell you. Because remember, you know, guys, in the clips that we've shown this year, you know, it's the same distortions. You know, what they've done is, and it's funny because today, if you guys want to have fun, go on to the Drudge Report. And you can go, virtually every day they have an article about global warming. And I want to tell you, go on there and start blogging. And you're going to see, and I call the people, the conservatives, I call them simple folk. Because I tell you, they don't have a clue. And I really feel sorry for some of them because they've been so misled. And it drives me crazy. And you know, like like George Carlin says, it's to the point where they're past being willfully ignorant. I mean, you know, it's just unbelievable. And they refuse to accept facts. They refuse to accept anything other than what Fox tells them. And that's what drives me crazy. And, but anyway, you know, through the year, we've tried to do all, you know, little kinds of clips and everything. And this next one is about a babysitter. Hopefully, this is the type of babysitter that you'll never have at your house, but it might teach us something, that we should be prepared. So, John, hit it.
Okay, before I tell you what happened, you have to promise not to freak out.
You said he was allergic to peanuts. You didn't say anything about peanut butter.
They make peanut butter out of peanuts.
Well, I'm not a food scientist.
What do you mean, how's Connor? Wait, you have a third kid?
Yeah, I'm changing her diaper right now.
Okay, I know you're not supposed to throw water on a grease fire. Well, I know now. The question shouldn't be, why did you let Connor play with the nail gun? The question should be, did you learn anything?
Completely random question. Where do you keep your first aid kit?
Do you have a large plastic tarp? Where do you keep your ice packs?
The jaws of life?
The key to your handcuffs?
Where do you keep your fire extinguisher?
Night vision goggles? Paint thinner?
Metal detector?
Caution tape? Duct tape?
Chicken wire?
Crowbar?
Connor! What do you want for dinner?
Stretcher by any chance?
Justin and Connor were playing barber and...
Mrs. Jensen? Kind of a funny story.
The bad news is there was a bit of an incident. The good news is your house is gonna be on the news tonight. How exciting is that?
Don't be this babysitter. The Red Cross offers classes that teach the basics of babysitting. In just a few hours, you'll learn how to handle an emergency, the basics of childcare, and how to talk to the parents if something should go wrong. Go to redcross.org/babysitting and register today.
Guys, did you see the little kid that had the cape on that was on the roof? And he was getting ready to run off the roof, and the babysitter says, "Connor, what do you want for dinner?" Well, guys, I was that little kid at one point, and I grew up. I lived in Yonkers, New York, and we lived in a house that had a brick wall in front of it, and I must have been, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, you know, going to kindergarten, I guess. And my mother gave me an umbrella because it was raining, and she was going to let me use the umbrella. And I took the umbrella to school, and all day long, I couldn't wait to get home so I could jump off the wall and use the umbrella. Guys, I come home, I get off the bus, and who's there waiting for me at the front door? The spoiler, my mother. So I never got to jump off the wall with the umbrella, and it's probably a good thing I didn't, because I'll tell you, some of the stuff I did growing up, I don't know how the hell I made it through. But you know, there's always those moments in life when things go completely wrong. And the next clip is from Mel Brooks, and we've done a lot of clips from him. I tell you, he's just a joy to have on. And the next clip is from Spaceballs. So enjoy it, guys.
Prepare to attack. Prepare to attack on the count of 3. 1, 2. Wait! What happened? Where are they? I don't know, sir. They must have hyperjets on that thing. And what do we got on this thing? A Cuisinart? No, sir. We'll find them, catch them. Yes, sir. Prepare ship for light speed. No. Light speed is too slow. Light speed too slow? Yes. We're gonna have to go right to ludicrous speed. Ludicrous speed? Sir, we've never gone that fast before. I don't know if the ship can take it. What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken? Prepare ship! Prepare ship for ludicrous speed. Fasten all seatbelts. Seal all entrances and exits. Close all shops in the mall. Cancel the free-range circus. Secure all animals in the zoo. Give me that, you petty excuse for an officer. Now hear this. Ludicrous speed. Sir, had you better buckle up? Now buckle this. Ludicrous speed. Go! Spaceball 1. They've gone to plaid. We passed them. Stop this thing. We can't stop. It's too dangerous. We've got to slow down first. Bullshit. Just stop this thing. I order you. Stop. Sir. Are you all right, sir?
Fine. How have you been?
Fine, sir.
Good.
It's a good thing you were wearing that helmet.
Yeah.
What should we do now, sir?
Well, are we stopped?
We're stopped, sir.
Good. Well, why don't we take a 5-minute break?
Very good, sir.
Smoke if you got 'em.
Smoke if you got them. I love it. I love it. But you know, I don't know how they do it. I honestly don't know how they're able to film this without cracking up. You know, if you guys go on YouTube, I tell you some of the stuff from Carol Burnett with Tim Conway and Harvey Korman, and they would show, you know, and they tried so hard not to laugh. I don't know how they did it. I mean, because I think I just can't control it at times, you know? But, you know, through the year, we've had a lot of fun with a lot of the different stuff that Mel Brooks has done. You know, we did a lot of stuff from Blazing Saddles. And, you know, there's been other things, History of the World. You know, some of the stuff that he's come up with, it's just too good to resist, you know. But anyway, we're going to go to a more serious note on the lighter side, because, you know, that we did one show on creationists. And, you know, there's only one way to really explain a creationist, and that's through the words of Lewis Black. So, John, hit us with Lewis Black.
Darwin's book that introduced the theory of survival of the fittest. Heck, I'd even pretended to read it. But did you know there's an equally important body of work supporting creationism? For starters, there's this textbook, of pandas and people. It's a scientific defense of the theory of intelligent design, and it's very concise. They're blinding you with not science. Now, despite its adorable cover, Pandas and People isn't written for kids. For little creationists, there's D is for dinosaur, which teaches kids that people and dinosaurs once lived together in harmony. Because prior to original sin, all dinosaurs were vegetarians. Makes sense, especially when you look at this early dino skeleton. Those 80 dagger-shaped teeth and huge claws were perfect for chasing down and killing any plants that tried to run away. Scientific theory is based on observations made in the real world. Charles Darwin based his studies on species in the Galapagos Islands. Creationism has its own hotspot, the Grand Canyon, which lecturer Ken Ham says is proof of the biblical flood.
When you took your children to the Grand Canyon and stood on the edge of the Grand Canyon, dads, did you teach them the true message of the Grand Canyon? It's a memorial of the fact that you are sinners and we are sinners, and our sin brought death and judgment from a holy God, and man rebelled against God again, and so God came and judged him with a flood.
Now get in the car, kids! If we hurry, we can still sacrifice your little sister at the Hoover Dam! Clearly, Ken Ham is no Charles Darwin. Luckily, he's not the only public face of creationism. Meet Dr. Ken Hovind, who uses a personal analogy to prove the creationist tenet that life is so complex it could only have been designed by a higher power.
I have a Casio DATTA-BING stopwatch. It holds 300 phone numbers. It's a calculator, a stopwatch, an alarm clock, and a countdown timer. I was in Japan only one time, but I never did see the guy who made the Casio DATTA-BING stopwatch. But I suspect there is a guy who made it.
Now, let me put it another way. It's like when you hear Dr. Hovind, you suspect there's an actual doctoral degree. Not, say, a certificate in Christian education from Patriot Bible University. Oh, yes, Patriot Bible University. I remember when they played the Bald Eagle College apple pies in the Uncle Sam Jesus Bowl. No fighting redundancies. Now, what do I think after looking at all this evidence? Well, let me put it this way. The scientific method has taken us pretty far. We've cured diseases, sent people to the moon, given erections where before there were none. I like science, but religion has also inspired man to do some pretty great things. The problem is when you try too hard to apply science to religion, both come off looking ridiculous. John?
Louis Black. We'll be right back. Me and Nigel about the dinosaurs.
Okay, guys, what do you say? I mean, when we did the show on creationism, I'll never forget the clip from the guy that ran the Creationist Museum. A PhD from Harvard. And the guy that interviewed him, he said, well, when it comes down to, when it comes down to science, are you going to accept the science or are you going to take the word of the book of the Bible? And he says, well, I have to take the word of the book of the Bible. And guys, that's what's sad. I mean, your facts should change your beliefs. Not, and sometimes the creationists, I tell you, when you think the world is only 6,000 years old, we got a problem. And, like Lawrence Krauss, and remember, because, on the show we featured Lawrence Krauss, Richard Dawkins, Bill Nye the Science Guy, Christopher Hitchens. I mean, these are world-renowned scholars. And, getting back to the global warming idea, when I say, Rich, where do you get your facts from? I get it from the source that you're supposed to get it from. I get it from the climate scientists that are writing published, peer-reviewed studies from the National Academy of Sciences. Do you need to know anything else? And you get guys like Joe and all the other guys that are on the blog, they're posting stuff by Anthony Watts, a weatherman. Wow, big deal. What's it, Lord Mockington? Remember the show we did with Lord Mockington? We made a joke out of him, that buffoon, how he got everything wrong, and we showed the clips where he got it wrong, and we didn't let him come up for air. And we're gonna do a clip at the end with Stuart Varney, with, we're gonna BATTA-BING him, and he's so stupid, you gotta laugh. And but the next clip we're gonna do is from one of the guys that's a skeptic, from Michael Shermer. And Michael Shermer has been in debates with Christopher Hitchens, with all these guys. And I tell you, when they talk to the creationists and to the believers, it's kind of sad the way they make them look half the time. But now we're going to go into a clip called Con Men. And you say, why con? Well, a con man is kind of what Fox does to you. You know, they get your confidence, they get you to agree with what they're saying, and before long it becomes propaganda. But we're going to run the next clip and you'll see how it works. So, John, hit it.
I got a better future for me and my family.
I got a career helping others.
One phone call changed my life. I called the Khan Academy.
At the Khan Academy, we believe in you.
Heck, we believe in just about anything.
At the Khan Academy, you can be fully trained and ready for an exciting new career in the paranormal in as little as 8 months.
We know with our hearts and our minds, and because we have a dictionary, that you can't spell confidence without con. We looked it up.
That's why we work hard to build confidence in our trainees, because believing really is seeing.
Square.
Hit.
Circle.
Wow, hit.
Star.
That's amazing. You just went 10 for 10.
Really?
No, but you did get this one right.
Oh my God.
And that feeling you're having right now, your clients will feel that too. They'll remember the hits and forget the misses.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Why am I doing that?
Psychologists call this the confirmation bias, where you look for and find confirming evidence for what you already believe, and you ignore the disconfirming evidence. People want to believe, and your clients will too.
But your Khan Academy training won't stop at the classroom door. We go one step beyond with practical, real-world training.
I'm feeling a strong spirit coming through here from the other side, someone who's passed over, maybe an M name, N name. K, perhaps, oh wait, no, it's a L?
Oh my God, my Uncle Larry. He passed like 2 years ago.
Yes.
Does he have a message for me?
Hang on, he does. He says everything is gonna be okay, and that he loves you as only an uncle can.
Oh my God, there's no way he could have known that he was my uncle.
It really is that easy, so don't miss out on this amazing opportunity. Classes are starting soon, and financial aid is available.
We'll have one of our current students help you out with the lottery numbers.
I'm getting a 7.
The Khan Academy, because you may not know what the future holds.
And neither do we.
You know, guys, it's so true. What they do is, getting back to Fox, what Fox does, it gets your confidence. They get you to wrap yourself in the American flag while you're holding a Bible. And, they want to show the guys that have served their country and the guys, and stop with this. Stop already. I don't want to send my kid to go fight. I don't want to send anybody's kid to go fight. We should be putting up windmills and putting solar panels on roofs. And I tell you, that's why I get so upset with Fox. But, probably one of the best people to explain what happens at Fox News is Bill Maher. And I tell you, Bill Maher takes no prisoners, and no one can do it quite like him. So let's enjoy the next clip. John?
Finally, new rule: if a 14-year-old can deliver your message, it's not because he's gifted, it's because intellectually you're a child. This is Caden Cowger, a 14-year-old conservative who has his own radio show and who made a splash this month for his ability to sound just like his older rivals on AM radio. Take a look.
We've got about 30, I'd say 30 teenagers in this county that I'm at that are homosexuals. And it is sickening. I'm going to tell you this, guys. President Obama, Vice President Biden is making kids gay.
Wow. It's like one of those time travel movies where Rush Limbaugh goes back in time to when he needed just one Oxycontin to get high. Oh. I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass. And I believe he could be president someday. And judging from his grammar, he could be President Bush. Oh, I kid the young Republicans, and you know, Caden is not the only tween right-winger out there. Back in 2009, Jonathan Crone, yes, that's a real book. Come on. I know, it looks like something we made up, but it's not. He published Defining Conservatism, the principles that will bring our country back, and teach it to shave. Here's a little bit of Jonathan speaking to the CPAC convention.
I want you to understand, I want the American people to understand, that conservatism is not an ideology of feelings or romanticism, as some people like to say. It is an ideology of protecting the people and the people's rights.
Oh my God, is there a charity or something I can give to? Wedgies Without Borders. I mean, I'm not trying to slam these kids because, look, being an asshole is totally understandable when you're 14. You're too young for sex and too old to carry your blankie everywhere. It's a very stressful time, but my point is to Republican adults, and it is this: when 14-year-old boys sound exactly like you do and can produce radio shows and books and speeches that sound exactly like yours, maybe you should rethink the shit that's coming out of your mouth. Remember the Republican debates we had this year? They applauded for the idea of letting a sick man without insurance die. Herman Cain got cheers for saying he'd electrify the border fence. They booed a gay man serving his country in the military. No wonder 14-year-old boys can do your act. You act exactly like 14-year-old boys. There's no ideology here. It's just about being a dick. Like last week, when House Republicans voted to keep using styrofoam in the cafeteria. Now, most people avoid styrofoam when they can because not only is it non-biodegradable, but it also poisons the food you put in it. Or as Republicans call it, a win-win. But honestly, Democrats were just trying to set a good environmental example by trading styrofoam for a risky and untested new technology called cardboard. I know, needs more study. But Republicans blocked it by a vote of 178 to fuck you. Fuck you. You want cups that don't leach chemicals into your coffee? Nah, 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 poopy face. You can't tell me what to do. Take that, knowing things. You'll notice that the left doesn't have any teen prodigies. You're not going to find a 14-year-old who can do Rachel's show. But to do Hannity or Rush, it's a very simple procedure. Step 1, be a giant dick. Step 2, there is no step 2. All right,
All right. You know, guys, since I do this live, and I love watching Bill Maher. I look forward to Friday night. I really do. You know, he's on 10 o'clock on HBO, and I look forward to it. And when I'm getting ready to watch it, like when it's like, let's say it's 9:55, I'll sit there and I'll say, I wonder what they're doing right now. And I go through the same thing that when we do the show here. You know, a lot of times, you know, I'll say 5 minutes, you know, till there. And I tell you, sometimes we don't know what we're doing here. But we have a lot of fun. And I mean, tonight was a perfect example, some of the stuff that happened earlier. And guys, this is the first time I really didn't go into the control room to check the thumb drive. I don't know why. I don't know why. But it's like anything else. You know, that's why pilots have a flight list before they take off. So you check everything, you know. We need a flight list over here. But anyway, the next clip is from one of our favorites, George Carlin, and I tell you, he's just terrific, and he talks about the owners of this country, the 1%. And guys, you know, if there's one thing we've had a lot of fun with this year, it's the Koch brothers. I mean, we've bada-bing them left and right. And the reason why, it's simple. They deserve it. The amount of money that these guys spend to buy this country is sad. I mean, but you know what? They spend the money because they can save the money. When they pass the legislation that fits them, you know, they save money. And like with Obamacare, I think because of Obamacare, they had to pay 2.3% more. You would have thought that was the end of the world to a billionaire. You know, I got to pay more. I'm not paying more. I own this place. I tell you what you're going to... Guys, I tell you, next year, we're going to have so much more fun. Because, oh, look at that. John, throw that slide. That's pretty good. You know, we're going to do some slides at the end, but like, you know, we don't want to lose the flow. We're going to go ahead with George Carlin, and we're going to let George give the 1%, the old bada-bing. So, John, hit it.
Education. That's the big answer to everything. Education. They said we need more money for education. We need more books, more teachers, more classrooms, more schools. We need more testing for the kids. You say to them, well, you know, we've tried all of that, and the kids still can't pass the test. They say, oh, don't you worry about that. We're going to lower the passing grades. But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they get by a system that threw them overboard 30 years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own the place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people. White collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich suckers who don't give about them. They don't give about you. They don't give about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and being jammed up every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Guys, there's only one thing you can say. Any questions? That's simple. Any questions? I mean, he hit, you know, he dotted the I's and he crossed the T's. And what really bothers me is to see how effectively they've spent their money. I mean, guys, when I go on to the websites, and I tell you, with Uncle Joe, you know, and go on to who'stellingthetruth.org, and, you know, we had Uncle Joe's website, which I got kicked off of again. And why? The reason why is because I called them out again. And as a matter of fact, the guy that Uncle Joe has moderating his blog, I caught her, this is the second time I caught her in an out-and-out lie. Not a distortion, a lie. I asked her to explain, they always use this term liberal. Oh, it's a liberal. Everything is liberal. So I asked her, I said, could you please explain to me what a liberal is? And she wrote back, and I tell you, she gave me a nice little description. And I was kind of shocked. And I said, wow, you know, she's made some points here. Something worth thinking about or looking into. And I said, you know, maybe she's not such a total bonehead. So I started to give her a little bit of credit. And during the day, I went on to the Drudge Report. I tell you, you guys can have fun. There was a story about global warming, and I was going through some of the comments, and I looked at a comment, and I said, this seems awful familiar. And I read more, and I said, wait a minute. It seems like I've heard this before. And guys, sure enough, this one guy who had a big blog had posted this. And what she did was she simply copied and pasted it to her account, to her name. And I said, you gotta be kidding me. You guys can't even lie straight. You can't even get your lies together. And this is the same person on the blog when she said, with Obamacare, my premiums have doubled. And I said, please post your proof and be specific. Guys, you wanna shut a conservative up? Very simple. Takes 2 words. Be specific. They don't know what the words mean. Throw another curve at them. Name your sources. Name my sources? Yeah, name your sources. Where did you get your information from? You know what? They won't know because all they've done is they've just heard it. They're not critical thinkers. Trust me. They react. They're like a cat with its tail underneath the rocking chair, you know, until grandma, you know, but this is the way these people are. And you know, like today I was at Costco, and guys, I didn't realize this, but the people that serve the food at Costco, they're not Costco employees. They're from another company. But anyway, you know, you guys know I love Costco, and I love the idea of a living wage, and that's why we're here. That's why we surround ourselves with the question marks. But it was a nice old lady. And we're talking about Obamacare and Obama. And one word led to another. And she was very nice, and she took one of my cards, and she was really into the solar power and Tesla Motors. She loved the idea of a living wage. And then we started talking about Fox News. And she said, that's all we have in my house is Fox News. And I looked and I said, you're kidding, right? She goes, no, that's all we watch. And she goes, sometimes my husband gets so mad when Obama's on that he has to shut it off. And I looked her right in the eye and I said to her, I said, ma'am, is your husband a racist? Right between the eyes. And well, yeah, I know. And the reason why is because, all of a sudden, everything, it's like what I said earlier. If Obama walked on water, Fox would say he couldn't swim. And this poor old lady, she's been so propagandized. And she sits there and she's badgered from Fox all day long. And I tell you, it gets to the point where you say, you guys, it's unbelievable. And I felt so bad for this woman because it was quite obvious she didn't have a clue. She had no idea about the facts and figures about anything. All she knew was she didn't like it. Why? She didn't know, because of Obama. No facts or figures, she just didn't like it. And guys, this is what we're dealing with. This is why we're here. This is why we surround ourselves with question marks, so that when somebody says something stupid, you look them right in the eye. Don't take a step back. Don't let them hide. Don't let them play games, because it's got to stop. It's like Lawrence Krauss said when it comes to teaching your children that the world is only 6,000 years old. We're not here to embrace your ignorance. We're here to eliminate it. It's that simple. Get rid of it. We need these kids. We need them. We need them up on roofs, putting up solar powers, building Tesla Motors, getting a living wage. All right, anyway. It's supposed to be funny all day. All right, the next clip is the one guy at Fox that I tell you, I love giving the double reverse backhand bada-bing B-slap. Stuart Varney, who refuses to get anything right. It doesn't matter what it is. And we're going to show you, and the most important thing is, I want you to get used to the terms published peer-reviewed studies. So, John, let's play the next clip.
I think the science is very clear in global warming. What these statements are, we'll go down the path and see what happens in peer-reviewed studies. Those are the key words here, Stuart. Peer-reviewed studies. If these scientists have done something wrong, it will be found out and their peers will determine it. I don't think geologists should write papers about being an actor or a newscaster, nor should, don't get your information from me, folks, or any newscaster. Get it from people with PhD after the name. Peer-reviewed studies are the keywords. And if it comes out in peer-reviewed studies that there are some cooking the books, that will come out.
Well, Senator Inhofe has a list of 700 climate scientists who say this global warming, they've got problems with the whole theory of global warming. I put it to you.
There's not 700 climate scientists. There's weathermen and other people in there. There are some climate scientists.
The science is not in.
It is in.
No.
Stuart, quit saying that.
The debate is not over, sir.
Peer-reviewed studies. Go to Science Magazine, folks, Nature Magazine. Go to somebody you trust, National Geographic. Don't get it from you or me. Don't get it from Rush Limbaugh or Glenn Beck. Scientists, people with PhD. Weathermen, not weathermen.
Listen
Science, climate.
Listen to this. I had a Princeton professor on my program.
What does he have his degree in?
Look, he's a physicist.
Okay,
he's a Princeton professor.
I want people who are PhDs in climate science.
Who's questioned
a climate scientist isn't going to tell you the difference between a quark and a boson. He's not going to tell you that.
So there's no question whatsoever. Absolutely, no question in your mind.
You can be skeptical.
Right. The debate is over.
Skeptical, but not denial. You guys are
over. The debate is over.
On global warming, the debate is very clear. It's out there in the scientific community. Read peer-reviewed studies. Peer-reviewed. That's all you need to do. Don't get it from you or me.
Guys, it gets really simple when it comes to climate change and global warming. Whenever anybody ruffles your feathers, or whenever anybody makes an outrageous claim, it's very simple. You just say to them, what do the climate scientists who are writing published peer-reviewed studies have to say on the issue. Case closed. Nobody is going to argue with a climate scientist. Nobody wants to argue with a scientist to begin with. But what happens is it's a case closed argument, and 97.3% of the climate scientists writing peer-reviewed studies agree that global warming is happening. If you want to stand with the 2.7%, that's fine. Hey, we got a phone call. How do I do this now? Okay. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Have you been drinking? Oh, damn it, there goes our entertainment. Oh. Probably one of the simple folk. Was that Uncle Joey? Was that you? Boy, I tell you, I hit him and Charlene so hard, they ain't gonna get up for a couple of weeks. I tell you, if it was a fight, they would have stopped it before it started. All right, now, we get to have the last bit of fun with Jon Stewart. There's nobody can do it like Jon Stewart. And I tell you, when it comes to giving the old BATTA-BING to Fox, it doesn't get any better than this. Hit it.
Like to be premier journalists. We'd like to restore objectivity.
We hope you depend on us for the truth, because we're going to report the situation in Iraq without an agenda or any ideological prejudice. Once the war against Saddam begins, we expect every American to support our military, and if they can't do that, to shut up.
You did your nice little conservative hit job on me, and you got that little smirk on your face, and you think you're so clever. You people ask me questions, you don't ask the other side.
Fox has figured out that by simply putting a question mark at the end of something, you can say anything. For instance, the question mark, a prophylactic protecting Fox News from anything it might contract during its extensive GOP. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! You can't just come out and say that, but...
Shut up! You had your 35 minutes.
I'm just asking!
Why? Listen, cut his mic.
Listen, Chad, stop. Chad, I want to test if you're an honest individual.
I know what I was doing? Shut up.
Please don't tell me to shut up.
As respect.
But thank you very much for being here.
It's a right-wing network, and you don't want to hear this stuff.
I want to know how many people in the Bush administration you asked, why didn't you do anything about the coal?
Wow, guys, I'm sorry. I thought we had more time than this. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this always happens. My thing says 7:58, which tells me that we have 2 minutes. Am I right or am I wrong? So why did we jump out of that clip? I just don't understand it. Why are we so challenged over here? So how much time is left now? I'm off. Merry Christmas!
Just give me some truth. I've had enough of reading things by neurotic, psychotic pinhead.
First of all, that's not right then. What you said
No, but still, it would.
9:58.